thing in New Plateau. And let's hope that at some point we can figure out how to be ready for these situations in the future. Mr. Deputy Speaker, question blomi inogat toksabe milagaski migulo Prime Minister also acting Treasurer. Prime Minister, you're very well aware of the hardships faced by our people due to the cost of living crisis. Now, I just wanted to demonstrate that in 2019, when we came into government and when you were installed as Prime Minister, Papua New Guineans, the lowest income earners, were earning 3 kina 50 an hour, and that equates to 28 kina per day. Even now, 5 years later, our lowest income earners are making 28 kina per day. This tin of fish, which most Papua New Guineans eat every day, low-income earners, used to cost 5 kina 50 in 2019. This morning, it's 7 kina 50 in Port Moresby. In other parts of the country, it's more than 7 kina 50. This packet of rice used to cost 4 kina 50. Today, it's 6 kina in Port Moresby, and in other parts of Papua New Guinea, in Isipik, it's up around 7 kina. This packet of noodles used to be 80 toya. It's now 1 kina 20. Some parts, it's a kina 50. This packet of biscuits used to be 80 toya. It's now 1 kina 20 in Port Moresby. This constitutes what most Papua New Guineans eat at dinner time. If you add this up, if they have 2 meals a day, it's already more than the 28 kina that the low-income Papua New Guineans, our people, are making. All market mama, only sit down over the day, table market lol, just to get enough money to buy these very basic items. My questions are as follows. Number one, what fiscal initiatives has the government undertaken in the last 5 years to make these items affordable for our people? What initiatives you play in Kisim Penisland? If not, what new initiatives do you have that will make these items affordable? Lol mama blo yumi sa hatok lo table market every day, nolin up lo buying na feed him all pigini blol. Our future. If you have no immediate plans, or if you do have plans, could you tell our hard-working mothers sitting on the table market when you expect, is it end of this year, next year, or the year after, when do you expect that these items will be affordable for our hard-working mothers and our low-income earners? Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Me Habamas Rolong, Governor of Isipik, concern me racing, me concern of this side of house too. And so me Habamas good luck question, Logan, and give me opportunity, long me reflect, long one something people are working, coming after 10. Mr. Deputy Speaker, lo talk lo English question logan and me ask him long inflation how government he work long banishing inflation or price increase from all goods and services. Me must talk clear with Deputy Speaker also government I pass government your pass government start the song na work him nothing. No good. People clear long heavy come up. Suppose me talk from up front. Global inflation average, let me stop on top long 7%. 7% average global inflation. Papua New Guinea long-running inflation average, let me stop above long 6%. Marape government running inflation stop underneath long 4%. The last 5 years. So I beg your pardon, stop underneath 5%. We repeat, global inflation running average long last 5 years stop on top of 7%. Papua New Guinea's running average low inflation since 1975 have stopped on top of 6%. Last 5 years inflation underneath long leadership long Pangu government na coalition long Mipla, which Governor Bed you part long and you give me offering prime ministership, so you go outside minister. And now minister why of giving Nabla again, but anyway, Nabla story. And so I'll send house blow talk. And so running average long 5 years people stop and below 5%. A minimum one. We play clear and sensitive long effect of inflation to our people. And we have not been passive. We plan on passing mouse, passing hand, passing yell.
Honourable Prime Minister, we have a point of order. Honourable Governor, what's your point of order?
You start to see now, lining some Sunday. Mr. Speaker, Mr.
Honourable Governor, you
Speaker.
You talk to the chair,
No, I'm throwing him so me
not to your colleague member.
Okay, make him out him. Sorry. One bell. This la packet biscuit, yeah. I mean 80 toya. Now I'm 120. Basic arithmetic, 50% increase. You talk average below 5%. 25% inflationary impact over 5 years. But this is a 50% increase. Almost everything. Thank you.
Honourable Governor, I think the Prime Minister is trying to get to explain your question. So your clarification will help Prime Minister to continue around. So Prime Minister, continue.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, me clear some upside or sound of mathematics go through now. I'll make it good like mathematics work. Mipla no more sabe manu se mol. I'm like schooling mipla here. Mipla got more sabe se man. That's why mipla clear lo hardship lo man meri lo place. Me clear se one pla price lo biscuit ikwanta me clear. But when you look at the aggregate figure of inflation to the economy, that's the long-term running average. It's a long-term running average. And I'll come straight to the point. We have not been incognizant to the fact that it is tough times out there. What can we do when COVID-19 shut down the global economy that created and exacerbated double-digit inflation elsewhere? You look at Argentina, for instance, 200% inflation. That's a case in point. So we are not imbeciles running economy on this side. Some of us are not businessmen. We graduated through the school of hard knocks to be here, so we understand exactly what is the pain of the little man on the streets. That is why the governor asked him, you are working on him. Well, while the actual cost has increased, and I want to admit here that we have an issue with the price control element, and we have already passed instruction for a review, and the Minister, the Honourable Joseph Lelang, under his words, we're looking at the price control in a specific manner. But coming to the point, what have we done last 5 years to assist our people? Lo assist him or lig man meri, me like talk pisin. Because talk English here, you may confuse him on man meri to us. Last time you make it Facebook talk English na. Plantino clear. Last 5 years, me plus have some hard time. Now me plus increasing, for instance, effort long Papua New Guineans paying school fee blow, beginning blow. You clear time 2020, COVID-19 come now, me plus rousing project fee away. So no longer today, Papua New Guinean parents paying project fee. No got for paying project fee, one-time tuition fee. Mibla also trauma go inside. Long halving below school, including higher education loan program, will give you more halving. On top of hackers and testers where Somali government starting, Mibla trauma this go inside. Long help him and relieve him burden, long Papua New Guineans. You know, it warmed my heart with joy when I attended the graduation at Unitec. And a single mother walked up to me and said, Mr. Prime Minister, I am a single mother from Chimbu originally. I am living in the settlements of Kimbe. And thank you for the higher education loan program. 3 years in a row, my son picked up 35,000 kina, completed engineering degree at University of PN. Now whilst people are not giving full helping, but I am now helping over 35,000 Papua New Guineans children who have left university since 2023 have benefited from over 130 million kina we passed on through the higher education loan program on top of hackers and testers. And Mr. Deputy Speaker, Mibla Rausim Takis long over 50,000 small toilets of economy, they're earning under 20,000 kina. No government before us has lifted the non-tax paid threshold to 20,000. The last was 12,500. The last was 12,500 and the only government lifted from then 7,500 around that benchmark to 12,500. We've lifted it to 17,500 once. We tested that. The burden on our people was still more. We've now entrenched that those who earn under 20,000, and guess what? Those who earn under 20,000 are those who go to the shop and buy trukai, buy the biscuit, buy the tin fish that you personally bring out. I hope you're eating those to yourself. They bring it out to our people.
Honourable Member for Bulolo, what's your point of order?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I think Honourable Governor Bedes tried to, one of the main questions here is, how can we put the price of the goods and services down? Simple food like this for our people. Thank you.
Honourable Member, I think the Prime Minister is still on explanation of this, so I'll allow Prime Minister to respond.
All right, so I'll round it to a conclusion. This is a serious question that is constructed to cast doubt in the minds of people that this government is not doing anything on the economy. It sounds as simple as this, but the dubiousness of this and the structure of the question is meant to go right in the heart of the minds of our people that we have not been working. Far from that. We have given incentive to our people.
Order. Opposition members, order. Let the Prime Minister respond to the question.
And so we've lifted the non-tax paying threshold so that Papua New Guineans are assisted, especially the toilets of economy, only assisted, and they take in the effect of lifting non-tax paying threshold to 20,000 means Papua New Guinean family who was earning below the threshold takes home at least additional 60 kina back home with him or her. I want to also say that we have trialed lifting GST of essential household items. We've trialed that in 2022, if I'm not wrong, or 2023. We've tried, it's not 2023, but 2022, I think, lifting GST of essential household items. Me like talking country, this is something that we want to seriously do. We have now invested money to IRC for the first time, and IRC is now in the middle of purchasing a system that is flexible enough for them so that when our people are struggling in hard times like this, we could simply remove 10% from essential household items like rice, tin piece, biscuit, petrol. We will try and finish long 2022. Exactly what year me mind blow me not pick him now, but 2022 meeting also we will try. Now, rousing 10% GST away from essential household items. Also fuel, na all kai basic kai, na all something below was long all citizens. So we will try this finish. We will give now money long IRC. hopefully by the end of this year, IRC system would be configured to have the flexibility so when inflation hits, IRC can be instructed, remove 10% GST off from essential household items. So these are control mechanisms that was not in place for many, many years. Knowing very well the hardship of our people, we have been building it. IRC has never received support before in a big way. Customs have never received support before in a big way. We've now given more support to IRC and Customs so that the system is dovetailed and tailored in a way that we could use our fiscal incentives that we are known for giving to ensure we stop price from increasing in a manner that is not consistent with revenue or income increase and control inflation. And if you ask me by any measure, globally speaking, if inflation is higher than 7% and PNG we are running at 5%, that is something that is not a full answer to a people, but an element of control on how best we could suppress unnecessary, uncontrolled, and exacerbated increase of prices, especially for essential household items. So, mila giving belly silo country. Mibla starting to work finish. Long time best lo controlling price. I'm all right. Them opposition you can right lo talk. But I am yet to see and hear and read from them on a practical step they will do to reduce inflation in our country. Going forward.
Honorable Governor, what's your point of order?
There is a reason the people of Papua New Guinea pay him the largest amount of money of any member of parliament.
Yes,
there is a reason.
Yes.
He cannot pass the buck to the opposition when he controls all of the levers of state. That's like walk and blame him. You know, blow opposition. You have the solutions. Show him. No can blame him opposition, nothing. Do the job that the people are paying you for.
Yes.
Honorable Governor, your point of order is like you putting up a debate on the statement that Prime Minister is raising. So, Prime Minister, you still have, or Prime Minister, we have another point of order. The Honorable Member Blo Yalibu Pangia.
Thank you.
Point of order,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Bloming, bit not too much, but lick. Lick law, Ocean Sonin Totok Blo Governor. Governor, ask him rate law, inflation law, world or global inflation or Papua New Guinea inflation. I'm asking, price go kakai now, something you want. Now, pay on man Mary work lot sin, and it's still down to us. We expecting Prime Minister, talking this honorable house in our country, why the price controlling mechanisms are not in place? Where is the price controller these days? Now I'm asking question, where are the physical incentives and Prime Minister not also okay? And put in place, what are those physical incentives that he has put in place to help the businesses in the country, especially the manufacturing industry, who provide some of the biggest jobs, employment opportunities in the country.
Honorable Member Yalibu Pangia.
No, that.
Me looking point of order, but you.
This is the point the Prime Minister.
Honorable Member.
Specifically answering question, it's been asked of him.
Honorable Member, point of order, you've been start good. That's all. You go ask him question again. What the point of order, so I'll allow the Prime Minister to respond to the question.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, it's interesting that some was a borderline between dementia. It wasn't too long we were in government. And it baffles me that someone who had the authority to be government asking questions. Mr. Deputy Speaker, last time minimum wages board said was 2014. Incomplete. The 350, the governor of East Civic race was a rate established in 2014. No review has been done. The new labor minister has now set and complete a review very soon. Very soon an adjustment to the minimum wage will be announced to our country. I was coming to my conclusion, and friends on the other side want to lecture me. wants to lecture me, and I don't take advice from the opposite. I take advice.
Order.
I ask,
Order.
Mr. Speaker, I ask simply because they need to pronounce the alternate to the country. It's not for me, but for them and for the country. You want to run country, you have to have your alternate established. And you sit stacked up in your deep backwaters. Huge experience of failure for our country. They failed this country. Right at the deep of opposition, they failed, and I'm amazed that the member for East Sepik is able to find congruence in policy mindset with the opposite.
I disagree with everyone.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'll bring this to a conclusion.
We have a point of order. Member of Finsaven.
I just want to remind the Prime Minister, when he refers to former governments, just like myself, he was part of the former government.
Yes.
We need to stop passing the buck and start fixing the problems. Stop blaming former governments. Thank you.
Honorable member for Finsaven, you take note of your point of order and allow the Prime Minister. Prime Minister,
All right.
you have taken up some minute. I know the importance of this question. We still have only a few times, so I would ask you to wind up your answer to the question.
All right, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I like to sorry not taking plenty time. Sabus online, asking point of order. And but we finished long time. You make a point of order, you make a bill talk again. So, let me finish him now. Good luck question, Governor, you asking. I mean, no, wrong question. Price is one time. You may all got a peeling pen. And so, me play no sit down nothing too. Time me play give him more school fee, help him. Me plan out time to adjust him system IRC so that he got flexibility. Anytime government can browse him takis, long essential or household item. Me also try him long 2020, me put him freight support. If letting him still time, me give him support lo ship. Lo carry cargo from Lake come long Port Moresby, lo help him. Garden Kaikai instead of Kaikai where you import him come outside. So this la freight support, and we start finish. Me like admit him was start stop, and me come up, but when look more like this plus strong. Me revisit him now, minimum wages board. Minister, me like commending Minister, the Honorable Casey Song, and we sit down, go inside, and we bring in triple party together finish. Only sit down, revisit him. It's like 3 kina 50 rate, long or lick man Mary, Jais Marape, and picking blow lick pay man Mary. And make him commitment. Make him commitment that this minimum wages board by adjust to the level of inflation and affordability for our economy. Talk one time employer federation, now employee associations we play close to by finishing, so that you can give him more help him. One kind of some people are in takis, long or lick workman Mary, only kiss him lick money low country. So government clear long heavy old man go through. Plenty of cost inflation too. Imported inflation, he park one time domestic inflation and make him one top. We play clear all heavy stuff. We are doing our utmost best. Now try him to hold him all this price, long all goods and services no can go. Me like Mr. Speaker, finish one this example. Today you go. Last time we appreciate member of Kerama mitla sit down talk all display. Governor of ECB can talk wrong something. Heavy troop lo country and we talk. Mipla tu lo display side. Sa passing mouse tasol. Na kisim big la pay na ranta sol noga. Mipla sa talk lo walk to. Member of Kerama, Vice Minister lo yumi and me talking me. Prime Minister, last time you read him, na me research, inflation, USA Today. I mean, one family now has to dig deeper, $1,000 more, $1,000 more than what they were paying earlier. Papua New Guinea too one time, heavy stuff. But me talk behind in my statement, 5-year statement to the nation. Me like Giblasi and Harem good. On this side and that side. That side you can construct your alternate policy construct, and on this side we will try our very best to reform on what we are doing and do more and do better for Papua New Guinea. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Supplementary.
We have a supplementary. The Honourable Deputy Opposition Leader, what's your supplementary question?
Deputy Speaker, the supplementary question to the Honourable Prime Minister, who's also the Treasurer, is why has it taken 5 years for us to continue to allow inflation to get out of control and currently create a cost of living crisis. When we're looking at the fiscal policy interventions, this government is spending too much money, borrowing too much money, and increasing the taxes. When you increase taxes and then you continue to spend and overspend, how do you expect inflation to drop? So a direct intervention that the government can take right now is to apply immediate austerity measures, stop the borrowing, and start funding targeted investments. You're not doing that. So what's your immediate plan to reduce the cost of living crisis that the people of Papua New Guinea are currently experiencing? The reality doesn't match the rhetoric. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, me Hamaslo, member of Suave, Deputy Opposition Leader, I'm asking this black question. I'm bla talk emi talk, me bla increasing taxes. This bla emi no true bla talk, me bla no increasing tax. In the last 5 years I have been in government, the Pangu-led government has not increased baseline tax for our people. Far from that, we have removed tax from our people. We will remove tax from our people. GST remains at 10%. Non-tax-paying threshold has now been uplifted to 20%. I cannot speak at a clearer English than this. I don't know, some of you who are school overseas and you know English better than some of us. I just don't know what sort of language I can use, but on record, we lifted no tax threshold for our citizens. We removed tax. That's on record. Do comparing. On record also, borrowing. Fiscal responsibility is a signature of this government. We're now approaching a fiscal consolidation pathway. The last 3 years, deficit declined by $1 billion each. You ask the opposite sitting there, deficit trend of the past government, 8 years of deficit trend. Last 3 years, we restructured the economy and we have had fiscal consolidation. Actual Kina borrowing declined by $1 billion Kina each.
Honourable Prime Minister, your point of order.
Correcting Prime Minister Tasol. Only restructuring budget, only no restructuring economy. So could you just take that correction?
I'll allow the Prime Minister to complete the response. Prime Minister.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, the final budget outcomes is on public website. Final budget outcomes is on public website. Final budget outcomes of 2013 right to 2023. The last 10 years is for all of us. Just don't believe in Facebook. Go and read substantial document that is out there, which everyone reads. And I point to the final budget outcomes of our own country. You look at percentage of budget delivery. You look at deficit trend. You look at debt profiling, whether it's concessional debt field, final budget outcome returned, or